Good morning, good afternoon, obviously depending when this kind of video comes out. It's going to be a little bit different and I hope I can kind of get my head around it. I'm basically going to do like a vlog within a vlog. That makes sense. What I want to do is actually kind of show what I basically do, obviously when I come out on a vlog. So there's going to be a bit of behind the scenes, so hopefully I can edit it right so it doesn't look silly and you actually understand what I'm doing. First of all, I actually want to go through what I use and what kind of gear I go through. I've actually changed a lot of my gear. If you have watched my last one, I've kind of scaled it down just for weight. First things first is the camera I'm shooting on. It is a Sony a7 III. I have a Tamron 2875 f2.8 attached to there. This lens and obviously the camera setup is fantastic, not only for stills but for video as well. So I do all the work goes onto that. It's nice and light. It's quiet. Obviously when I'm filming video, the lens doesn't make a lot of noise. The autofocus is absolutely fantastic. Along with that, 28mm isn't really that wide, so I use a Samyang 18mm. Again, f2.8. So if I do want to shoot anything with like a blown out background, this is tiny. You kind of see this. This is tiny, super light. Again, all about kind of getting that weight down. So, and that comes in this little key box like that. How cute is that? The camera I'm recording on now is a DJI Osmo Pocket, which is that big. That helps. A lot of people use them, a lot of people see them. It's its own built-in gimbal. It shoots time lapses and things like that. Touch your button. It's nice and easy to use. Tripods for photography. This is a Manfrotto carbon fiber 055. I don't use the Manfrotto head. This is a K&F concept head, and the reason I do that is because if I'm talking to the camera, I'm using this. This is a DJI Ronin SC gimbal, and the gimbal itself, don't know if you can see that, it doesn't take Manfrotto a little bit different. They basically use it as their own plates for the tripod. So this plate fits on, basically the top of that is the same. So on the bottom of the camera, I don't need to keep changing the plate. So it's my gimbal plate, which goes directly onto my tripod, which is helpful. On the gimbal, there's a mic. It's a Rode Video Micro. It's tiny. Again, it's light. It's fairly cheap as well. But that's pretty much it. In terms of photography and filters, obviously I use I've got a couple of leaf filters. I've got rid of most of them now. I actually tend to only use these in kind of long exposures. I've got 6 stop and a 10 stop in there, which is the little stopper and the big stopper. Mainly I use this, which is a K&F concept ND2 to ND32, which is basically 1 stop to 5 stops of light. It screws in using an adapter because this is slightly too big for the camera. So first shot is kind of a cliche. Basically put the camera in my boot, open the boot, grab my bag, walk off. Nice bit of B-roll, just kind of starts it off, gives me a chance to basically set kind of the scene, kind of starting with the music and things like that. Dead easy. Obviously bag there. It's my camera and the gimbal. Right, so I've just done a little bit to the camera. I'm introducing kind of where we are, what we're doing, that kind of usual rubbish. So obviously this is on it, and what we need to do is get a little bit more B-roll. There's a nice bridge right in front of us, so what we'll do, we'll get me walking across that. Basically put my camera down on the floor down here. So basically I'll change my camera settings for how I use this one. Keep everything the same. I'm basically on a slow-mo 100 frames per second. I'm going to put my f-stop from 2.8 to about 6.3. Focus kind of in the middle of the frame. And all we do, we just kind of walk backwards, set that to record, and just walk. So first one in the bag. And what I think I might do as well is get a little bit of B-roll of this river, maybe just kind of panning up, something like that. So if I pop you there, next one is a gate. You love a good gate shot. There's opening the gate, closing the gate. Just there. So that's probably like, what, 5 seconds of footage. It's taken kind of 20 minutes. So it's not the quickest of things. And I know there's been a few people try to do a lot of vlogging and things like that. I realise there's quite a bit that goes into it myself. Right. Got to do some more bit of proper talking to the camera. Maybe get some slow-mo of leaves, things like that. Maybe some shots of hedge, whatever. Stuff basically just filler shots. Nothing really too exciting, but it sets the scene until I get to the waterfall, basically. So next bit of B-roll, again just kind of carrying on. Camera is just there. I'm walking kind of along this way. So if I walk back like this. Trying to look at the camera, of course, because obviously that looks a bit funny. Right, that's a bit done. Literally just walk past the camera. Dead simple. Now I'm gonna pick up the camera, still recording, and actually put it down, making sure it's nice and stable. Putting it down the path. Settings wise, for this and for B-roll, I've basically got 2 settings. Actually on 1 and 2 on top of the dial. So 1 is my talking to camera. It's in 30 frames per second, 100 megabits per second, which is obviously the highest I can go on here. And then for B-roll, same 100 megabits per second, but it is in 100 frames per second. So the difference between them, I will have a timeline in Premiere Pro when I put everything in at 25 frames per second. So if I wanted to, the bit where I talk to camera using this one, I can slow it down ever so slightly. Just gives it a little bit more cinematic kind of feel. And then when I'm getting B-roll, I can slow it down obviously by a factor of 4, which is kind of really nice and slow. And then on the 2, if anybody does any video or anything, if you shoot 25 frames per second, you need to shoot at a shutter speed of 1/50th. So if I'm shooting at 100 frames per second, I'm shooting at a shutter speed of 1/200th. You do that basically to get the right amount of motion blur. If you're shooting at 30 frames per second, it'd be your shutter speed of 1/60th, kind of like that. So whatever it is, double it, put 1 over it. Dead simple. So if you're shooting at like obviously 240 frames per second, which unfortunately I can't do with this, some cameras can, it'd be 1/480th. But then that'll be very, very dark as well. So I don't change any settings on this camera to shoot video at all. I've got those 2 settings, that's all I need. If I need to change anything, I change my ISO. A couple other things. With this one, my picture profile is basically in S-Log. What that means is, for video, to get the most dynamic range, it actually shoots quite flat. No contrast, hardly any saturation at all. Not usable straight out of the camera. But then you have to colour grade it and edit it, add that contrast back in. So you end up with a higher dynamic range than you would do just recording straight off. And I need to stop, because I need to take my jacket off, because I'm damn warm. So I've just recorded a little bit more B-roll, and a little bit to camera, obviously saying that I'm at a waterfall, and the B-roll is basically me looking around. The idea is to tell a story. Maybe a simple story, I'm going out with my camera and going to take some waterfalls. But you still need to tell a story. You can't just kind of go out, take some pictures of waterfalls without any context. If you tell a story, then you're almost bringing your viewers along with you, which helps basically. So a little bit of B-roll of me looking around the waterfall. I'm not convinced on the pictures here, but you get the idea anyway. And what I will do is actually say that to the camera, because obviously people don't know what you're thinking, so you need to explain that on camera. Explain your thoughts, explain kind of what your thoughts and what your process is. I've actually just filmed a little bit of B-roll of me walking over that bridge you just saw, and then what I'm going to do is obviously go back onto the camera and explain to the camera why I'm walking away. Again, all to do with the story, why I didn't take any pictures, why you don't see any pictures, and it just gives it a little bit more narrative. Hey, not quite sure if you can hear me. I've basically set my camera down, kind of over here, and I've just set it to record. Take a while, I walk around. Makes for a nice B-roll, also gives me a chance to kind of scout the area without fear of kind of breaking any equipment. Just had to bail on that idea. There's a hell of a lot of water, which is sometimes a good thing, so obviously sometimes a bad thing. The problem is it's the sky water, the rain. Surfing's kind of gone back in the bag, and what I'll do, I'll basically cut to this next shot of me basically going to Black Moss Pot, it's called. Explain kind of what I've just done here, but in a better vloggy kind of way, if that makes sense. Video making isn't going well. It's a bit wet, a little bit rainy. I can't afford to get the gear out and get it soaked. There's no point, I can just come back another day. I say it's not too far away. So as the vlog kind of comes to an end, what we'll do, we'll jump back. I'll basically show you the kind of editing process of how I put together this vlog, which I'm filming now, filming this kind of vlogception, isn't it? Vlogception. We'll just make up a new word and it'll be really cool. Yeah, let's go back there. So we're back home now. We're going to get started editing. So first thing I do is just organise everything. I've got everything on here. I organise by footage, images, sound, which obviously includes music and sound effects as well. Within footage I've got A-roll and B-roll. So after I've copied everything, next thing I like to do is actually the exciting bit, which is edit all the images. I'll go through Lightroom, go through Photoshop, get through that really quickly. And what I'll do now is actually show you my finished images. Images, I've got a folder of the ones, basically the jump photos. And then the next ones are actually the main images I went out to film and to collect. Just the three of them. I always tend to put 3 or 4 in my vlogs. I don't tend to do any more than that. I feel if I do, I'm just a little bit rushed. So now all that is done, it's all that in, we can open up Premiere Pro. So when we open up Premiere Pro, first thing we'll do, go to New Project. I like to put everything in the same folder.
just keeps everything together, because you will find you'll have loads and loads of footage, and it just gets overwhelming sometimes. So if you call it Borrowdale Valley, and basically click OK on that one. Right, so what we need to do now is import all our footage. Again, organisation is the key. Within Premiere Pro or any other video editor, it's all within bins. So if we create a couple bins now, one for A-roll, one for B-roll, one for music, everything all just separate, just so we know where our footage is. Right, so that's all done. And all we do now is just open those bins and copy all the footage across. Next thing I like to do is start doing a rough draft. This rough draft basically consists of looking at my clips, seeing where I want the beginning points, the end points, see what I'm saying, cut little bits out, and just dragging them onto the timeline. No real precision here, but it does give me an idea of what it's going to look like, what kind of order I want to put things in, and what my timeline is going to look like in the end. Right, so when we've finished putting everything together, gone through all the fine details, we have something that looks a little bit like this. This here is my footage layer. This is my footage layer here. The next one below it is all my talking, and then this layer here is music. So you can see where I stop it for me talking, for the music to go on. And when we come to export, really simple, file, export media, gives it a second, name it something, let's see, Borrowdale. If I actually save, it's a custom preset, basically put it into, save it as a 4K. If you save it as 4K, YouTube gives you a little bit more bitrate, makes it a little bit easier. And if we go down here, render at maximum depth, I generally put this up to about 45, keeping an eye on this, of course, which is obviously this file size, highest quality, maximum render quality, and then export. That's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you for watching this one. Sorry it's been a bit all over the place. It's my kind of first one doing this with like screenshots, so I've completely confused myself. Hopefully it should get a little bit better, possibly, maybe, or I might just not bother again, because we've confused the hell out of me trying to get a vlog and a behind the scenes vlog, especially when filming it. Putting it together has been a bit of a nightmare. But if you do want to watch the video of the behind the scenes of this one, that went out last week. Next video is from the northeast, from kind of Thomas Heaton's like kicking about grounds. So we went out there, made a little bit of a short film, not really a vlog as such, but certainly a few images and just some kind of nice shots to go along with it. So thanks for watching. If you have watched, it's been a long video, however many minutes it has been. So thanks for watching. If you did like it, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments what I could do, and please don't go too far, because there's probably loads I could have done better. But again, thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.